Kobe, I had this freaky girl come over yesterday, and do you know it's the first thing she said?
No, Barry, what'd she say?
I'm a style boy for life. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, try to change it up a little.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new month of the Who Watches This podcast, and it's Colby's month.
It's my month.
So, Colby, explain why you picked the theme for this month.
So we are doing docu, rock-you, mockumentaries.
I like how you wrote that. I know you wrote that down. You're like...
I did. I wrote it down.
Did you put it on a sticky note?
Bam, sticky note.
That's going to be on Colby's monitor for the rest of the month so he doesn't forget.
Because last month we were like, every week we were like, what did we call this? I was like, I'm going to write it down.
I know.
This is my month. I'm not going to be that guy.
I'm not going to be like Barry, always forgetting, even though he's younger than me.
So it's, I don't know. I like musicals.
Yeah.
And so then, like, I watched just recently, like, the Wicked two-part thing came out, and I watched that. And for some reason, I went from that to, like, I watched, like, the Elton John.
With Taron Egerton?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bio.
Right. The I guess it's a rockumentary. Biopic?
Biopic, yeah.
Yeah. And then I watched the Queen one, and then I watched
So you just went on a whole binge.
Yeah, and then from that I was like, I remember when the comic store was open, this one came out and I never saw it, and I was always like disappointed, and it just happened to be on Prime. So I was like, what? Yes, I'm gonna watch this. And then I was like, oh no, there's a bunch of these that I haven't seen, and
right.
We just gotta make a month out of it.
You know what's funny too is like the lead actor in this movie, for the longest time, I think maybe he was just a little bit before or after my time of like this kind of humor. And so like I was never really into him until he like had a sitcom show, and it was like, that was hilarious.
Yes.
So like I've kind of been retroactively watching his stuff. The movies still, like, some of the movies, like this one is a little bit of a, what's it called, an exception, just because it is like a very like a mockumentary rock, music thing where it's like a parody.
Right.
But yeah, I was never really like into his stuff until like his sitcom show, and then this one was funny too, because it like I used to love like VH1 music documentaries.
Yeah.
So this is very reminiscent of it. So let's get into our first section, which it's supposed to be Mr. Movie Trailer, but I feel like this one is a good one to kind of do a little throwback.
You're gonna sing it?
It'll be a rhyme fest,
Here we go. Okay.
It has to be, right? Do they know what's the deal when the stadium starts bumping Connor for real? When the ladies want to act coy until they're in front of the style boys? But now Connor's wondering what's left after the horrific sales of Conquest. Come see the music doc of the century. Don't walk, start hopping when we talk about 2016's Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping. I probably could have Mr. Movie Trailer that, but I was like, let me make sure this rhymes just because.
It rhymed. That was good.
So this movie's starring a lot of SNL what's it called? SNL alumni
Yes, yeah.
with Andy Samberg, the Lonely Island Boys, Tim Meadows, Maya Rudolph, and just a ton of like cameos from real artists.
Yeah, I pulled up the
The IMBD.
the uh, list of cameos, and it's like it's too long for me to read. I was like, I'm gonna tell you and I was like, no, there's like 70 of them.
Well, you know, some of them I feel like were like just footage from like other things, right? But then like the ones that had
That's true.
actually speaking roles, like you had Nas, 50 Cent, Usher, you had Pink. Um, oh gosh, there's more, and I just like I'm having a brain fart, but like I just remembered. Oh yeah, yeah. I said Usher, yeah, yeah. And so
Seal.
Seal. So yeah, like it's actually really awesome that like you know because like the Lonely Boys is like this whole SNL thing, like it's a whole SNL sketch
Right, yeah,
or Lonely
it's like
Island.
it's kind of like a trio of musical comedians that are part of SNL, but
Yeah,
that's kind of like their side thing, and they're kind of like, hey, let's these things that we filmed that we're not doing live. Let's ask Lauren Michaels if he'll put him on the show.
right. And then, I mean like SNL has had like past movies like this, like they had Pat, MacGruber,
Oh yeah,
Night
yeah.
at the Roxbury. And like it's funny because growing up, I was like, I have a friend that's like super into SNL. He's like, yeah, this that show's hilarious. And I was always like a Mad TV person,
Okay, yeah.
only because Mad TV was like a lot more raunchier
Agreed.
with their stuff. And Mad TV had some legends too. I mean, you have like Bobby Lee, you had Phil Lamar, um, freaking Will Sasso. Uh, who is
Right.
Mrs. Swan? Is she like you know she's voiced Lois Griffin for like 20 years. It just had much more like just very crude humor versus like SNL, which has been going on what since the 70s, and
Yeah.
maybe
Oh right,
this,
because they just did the 50th anniversary. So
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, let's get into talking about this movie. This movie starts off. It's a documentary style about what at first it seems like it's about style boys, but I feel like every music documentary starts off like that. They have to start at like at the root,
Right. Oh yeah, of course.
right? So, but like we start off with the style boys with Connor, Kid Motion, and Lawrence, right? Did he have a stage name?
They were they were all they all had a stage name, but they were all like it all started with kid. It was like kid
Oh,
something, kid
yeah.
something.
But like throughout the movie, like I just remember like, oh, it's Evan, Connor, Lawrence, right? And it seems like it's like this very standard kind of coming of age where we see like these three white kids from Sacramento and doing super raunchy like songs, and it seems like they're much older than they never state the age. But like to
Right.
be
Yeah.
able to like, because during this whole documentary, we're having like guest like speakers, right? We have like, and they're like Nas has been going on since like the early '90s, and
Yeah.
he's talking to like I feel like the Style Boys in this it's like a very much of a parody of like the Beastie Boys,
Oh right. Yep. Yep.
right? But like all these people are like, oh my god, you know, they were so like monumental to like hip hop and everything. Like you have like Usher talking about how he's like, I've always wanted to dance with them. You had 50 Cent talk about Connor's marketing genius,
Yeah.
and like 50. If you like, if you guys obviously you guys should know who 50 Cent is. He's like one of the most business forward like people ever. You know, like so he's like brainiac when it comes to like marketing. because he does like these, like if you follow 50 Cent's career, like like he's started beef with the right people, and he's like talking to them like, hey, let's do this beef, let's go ahead and beef up our album sales, and it'll be crazy. So for him to talk about Connor for Real's strategies, he's like, hey, he's a genius. But like at the start of the documentary, you can kind of tell like Connor is he's suffering from what a lot of VH1 music documentaries usually will show towards like 70%, the 70% mark of a documentary, where this kid who's come from like kind of humble beginnings is like thrusted into stardom, because as the Style Boys progress in their career, Connor, being the very much more charismatic one out of the group, it goes Style Boys, and then it became Connor for Real and the Style Boys.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's so almost at this point formulaic that like the more bigger you get, the more people you surround yourself with, the more of those people are just yes people.
Right. Oh, yeah. Especially if you're paying them.
Yeah.
If they're like all of a sudden everybody's like on staff because you need somebody to, get your water, and you need somebody to drive you, and you're paying them. So of course they're like, yeah, no, you're the greatest.
Exactly. Right. And like Tim Meadows, who's playing their manager, also has like this musical history of being a part of like a very, prolific group in the 90s, Tony. But when he was in it, it was Tony. And unfortunately, because of his like creative stance on that, the rest of the group were like, no, that's weird. We kind of don't need you anyway.
Right. We're better as a trio.
Exactly. Like, it's either 5 or 3,
Yeah.
Unless you're like Boys to Men. And so, like, he has, but like Tim Meadows, like, what's his name in the movie? Tim Meadows?
Harry.
He's like, yeah, after I got dropped with them, I became the manager for the Style Boys, and it's been pretty good lately. And like, it's funny because like and they start to go through his like music catalog, and it's so goofy. And, it's meant to be so goofy, but like it's goofy and catchy at the same time. It's almost like in that Weird Al territory.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, okay.
And that's say that little group, the Lonely Island, they have a knack for definitely making there be a catch in every song. And so like even like all the Saturday Night Live songs, like all just really resonate because there's some they're good marketing also.
Yeah.
They know how to like throw something in there to just earbug you.
Well, I mean, like if you think about it too, right? 50 Cent was notorious for his hooks.
Right.
And then like that's kind of like what you kind of do with parody songs as well. That's why Weird Al was so good.
Right,
like,
yeah,
he wasn't creating his own.
They
hooks,
actually even make a joke about that later on about the catchphrase song.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so like as like they started to progress, unfortunately, like during the documentaries, like yeah, and then at a certain point, when Lawrence had enough, and they're at like some music festival, and they started fighting on stage.
Right.
That's when the Style Boys broke up. Evan stayed. And and so like you gotta you follow where the money's going, right?
And I guess apparently that fight was very like copied directly off of a real fight. It was like Leonard Skinnerd.
Oh.
What was it? It was
Was it Lollapalooza or something?
No, but it was like in the early 80s, and like the two people just got in a fight on stage, and then like 2 days later the band broke up.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a boiling point, right? Like once you have the fight, it's like, yeah, this is done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they talk about each person's role in Style Boys, right? And so Connor is like
Oh,
the charisma.
sorry,
Oh, sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
The Eagles,
Oh,
Glenn
really?
Fry and Don Felder in 1980 got in a fight on stage, and then 2 days later the Eagles broke up.
Oh no.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
No, but like they talk about like each person's role in the Style Boys, right? Connor is like the front man. He's the charismatic one. He's supposedly the best vocalist and
Right.
on there. Evan, he is the producer. He makes all the beats, and Lawrence is the songwriter.
Yeah.
Lawrence is pretty much Ice Cube and NWA.
Right. No, definitely. Like if you start thinking about like little bands where that are like that,
Yeah,
it's you have like the writer, the singer, or you
the
have like the
producer.
guitarist and this is the singer
Yeah, because
and
then
this
like
is the writer.
yeah, because if you structure it differently, Lawrence is Ice Cube, Evan is Dr. Dre, and Connor is Easy E. He had the voice.
Yep.
So, Evan decides to stay. He builds that relationship, and the dynamic between all of them is kind of weird. So, like, the documentary is really following the follow up to Connor for Real. That's his first album, which, like, did really well. It's what is it? It sold like 4 million, went platinum.
Yep.
And so, like, the hype around this, because when you see like Connor's stardom in this movie, it's very Justin Bieber-ish.
Definitely.
Right. Which a lot of there's a lot of discourse between like when a white person goes into a very black space,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because hip hop is culturally it's from the African American community, and so like there's but like because he did it earlier, is supposedly earlier in this, where if they're like the BC Boys, they've been able to influence a lot of people. He has like sort of like he's dipped his toe in two different genres, right? Hip hop and pop.
Yeah.
And so like Evan talks about it. He's like, yeah, I showed him the beats, and he like Connor was like, as he was like doing the documentary, he's like, yeah, my second album is gonna be much more political, which is like another bad thing that a lot of music artists have done.
Yeah. Right. That's like the kiss of death when you try to go political.
Yeah. And like
Yep.
Evan talks about it because he's the one who had produced his first album, and Evan's like, yeah, he had all these like people producing on it, and like he just wanted to try something new, and plus I showed him my beats, and he's like, nah. and so like as they start promoting it, Carter is a great marketer. He shares everything about his life.
Oh, right. Yeah. You sort of see him doing the little like the
Yeah.
little Insta live or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, but I just had a taco.
Yeah.
I just had my butt waxed and it really hurts.
Yeah. He's like, I just jacked it. And like 50 Cent's like, it's a little too much sometimes, but it's genius.
Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to just go live 17 times a day.
I'm not
Get
saying
everybody.
I'm not telling anybody I just jacked it. Yeah, I grew up in a Catholic household. That's very good.
Yeah, it's true. I'll be 12 of my 17 tests each day.
That's why the dinosaurs died. But yeah, so like he's gearing up, and he's like, "Yo, guys, just want to let you know, dropping my new single," and it's super like, oh god, like it's funny because he talks about how offensive it is later on in the movie.
Yeah.
But kind of weirdly applicable to today's situation still. And he's like, it's a song about like gay people,
Right. And how they should have the same rights as everybody else.
but in between lyrics, he's like, I'm not gay though. He's like, he's constantly, he's like, I just had sex with 10 chicks because I'm not gay, but gay people should have rights.
and they're all straight.
He's like, I'm straight, but they're gay. And you know, the funniest part is like the person featured on this song is fucking Pink.
And she's like, it's great because she's like all into it at the beginning, and every time they show her, she's a little bit less like why am I singing? You could see her face like,
And so they dropped that single, right? And so Connor's like, you know, I want to see how the numbers are doing. You know, I just want to see how many people have said positive things about it. And he opens it up, and like, was it Pitchfork is like -4 reviews. Rolling Stone, which out of, what is it, 4 or 5 stars?
Out of 5 stars, they give him a poop emoji.
And he's like, what's going on? What?
He's like, they must have a problem with their computer. Yeah. That's why it came out like that.
And he gets one from The Onion, which, if nobody knows, like, The Onion is a satirical news website.
Yeah.
So everything on there is just opposite. And he's like, oh, look, they said I did great.
So it's mixed reviews. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You know, sometimes the sophomore album is kind of mixed. Unfortunately, like, album sales aren't doing great. Right? He's like, Harry's like, it's been 1 week. The album sales are at what, 65K?
Yeah.
He's like, well, that's cool for the day. He's like, oh, that's for the week. And he's like, oh no. And in between this, like, Evan's like, you know, they're like asking Evan, like, oh, so like you're the DJ, so what do you do? And he's like showing his station. He's like, you know, this is my keyboard. I've had it for like, you know, ever since like we got big.
This is the Style Boys, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, this is my DJ station. And he's like, oh, how does that all work? And he shows like an iPod.
He's got like a terabyte of information. Yeah. I have all my beats just in here. I could just hit play.
Yeah.
And I also have all my audiobooks in here. And it's like, whoop, and it starts playing Harry Potter audiobook.
Which is like a funny jab to all the EDM stuff.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of people, like, you know, like, I'm not a huge EDM person. Some of it's fine to me, but like, I'm not really like actively searching for that. I don't like raves. It's just too many people for me. And like, but a lot of complaints are like, wow, what do those DJs even do? Everything's preloaded. They're just like looking busy. Look, right. This freaking Steve Aoki's, Aoki's throwing cake at people. Like, he's not even doing the music. It's the someone told me
we just lost like an audience member.
Someone once told me is like EDM is the influencer of the music industry. I was like, I don't know enough, so I don't know what I can say about it. But it feels like a jab to that, right? And so like they have to do this tour for for Conquest, right? But before that, they go to like it's like, what is it, like the Philips of this world, where it's like a whole bunch of appliances. And
right, it was Aqua Sea or something like that. It's like some,
and like every time you open it, it starts playing a Conquest song. And Evan's like, hey man, do you think this is a good idea? I feel like this is like an invasion of privacy. And he's like, nah man, it's gonna be dope. And
apparently that, I didn't realize this till like I was doing research, and I don't remember this happening, but there was a huge backlash because apparently when iPods or Apple phones or something first came out, YouTube had paid to have their album preloaded on it.
Oh, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, with mono.
And so everybody was like, I hate YouTube. Why is like that, like the first album is
right. Which is like, like that was always like one of the big complaints about it. Is like, why can't I get rid of this?
Yeah.
Oh man. And so like they start the tour, and I gotta say, like, as this song that they really opened up the tour with is so bad, but it's so good. Because, like, the hook is, like, it's so well produced. Because it's a song about, like, she wanted to fuck me, like how the U.S. government fucked Bin Laden. And, like, as the song progresses, like, the girl that's dancing on stage puts on, like, the beard, I was like, oh, wow, this is highly offensive. But they're doing they're doing a tour, and it's like, it looks crowded, but then when the spotlight pans to the top portion,
the whole upper balcony is all completely empty.
And Bill
Except for
Hader
one guy
is there.
screaming. Yeah.
It's Bill Hader, who's like the roadie. And so he starts complaining to Harry. He's like, dude, what the heck? What happened? It's 18,000. Why couldn't we sell it out? And Harry's like, dude, no one sells it out. And he's like, come on, man, Sledgehammer sold it out. It's like, yeah, but that's Sledgehammer. And then, like, Harry starts talking about Aqua's, like, hey, like, they're worried about the tour sales. And, you know, he's like, why didn't you sell it out? And he's like, Connor's like, come on, man, who sells it out? And so, like, Harry's like, hey, listen, like, I know you don't want to, but I feel like we need an opener. So they get one, and it's like the kind of the opposite of like his style.
Yeah.
And it's like this underground rapper called, was it Hungry Hunter?
Yeah.
Super gritty, very underground. His songs are pretty catchy too. I was like, that's pretty catchy.
They are, but yes, it's weirdly like the opposite
of
audience. Yeah.
But like, you know,
I guess it's like when you have like when Justin Bieber was singing, and then like his opening act was Usher, or something where it seems like it's very different crowds.
Yeah, because you can't say Usher because Usher is the one that brought Bieber on.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true.
It would be like Justin Bieber picking up like Creed. Or a Creed-like band. But so like they pick him up and everything's kind of going good. You know, Hunter's a huge fan of Connor. He's like, yo, the Style Boys was sick. You're dope. I'm not going to let you down, dog. And like they become very quick friends.
Right. And certainly I could see that happening. They're both pretty immature and, want to just have fun.
Yeah.
And so till this first album or the second album kind of falls apart, everything has seemed like everything he's put out has been gold. So like he can have fun and mess around with everything and it just still works.
Yeah, but like, what's it called? What is it? Oh my God, Hungry Hunter? Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter is like, at this point, he's the Mr. T to Connor's Rocky. Because Hunter's hungry. He for real is hungry. You know? But Harry should have been like, yeah, he's a machine. Right? Because as the tour is going well, adding on Hunter has helped sell out a lot of tours. Unfortunately, Hunter's, he's starting to gain traction. Starting to get big. And so when they go into like this Atlanta or maybe Miami club, the DJ shouting everybody out, which is like T.I. He's like, shout out to T.I. He's in the building. And yo, we got Hungry Hunter in the building. And he doesn't say anything about Connor. And Hunter's like, he's performing in there, and Tim Meadows is like kind of jamming out to his stuff, and Connor's like, what's going on? And so like his album sales still aren't doing good, but Hunter has gone gold. Yeah.
And Tim Meadows is always like, he's not the yes man, but he always is like silver lining. He's like they shouted out Hunter, but they didn't shout out me. And he's like, oh, it's really dark. They just probably didn't see you.
Yeah. But he's also like, hey man, Hunter's just having a moment.
Right. You had your moment. There's lots of moments. We could share all the moments.
Exactly. And and so like what's it called? But we cut to Lawrence, who is now a farmer in middle of Colorado, and he's like showing off all of his projects. He's doing woodworking, which it's not great.
It's horrible. Yeah.
It's yeah. But he starts talking about like Connor. He's like, yeah, I heard Connor's doing stage gimmicks now. Like, when did it stop becoming about the freaking music and he started just doing dumb shit?
Yeah, he sings a song from inside a bathroom stall.
Yeah. And like he talks about like we see like this thing where Jimmy Fallon is like asking him like, oh yeah, I think what really picked you up as a single artist is the catchphrase verse, which is like it's a verse where he gets like he features on some chick's album and he's just saying a whole bunch of like catchphrases like badoink doink, who did that, stuff like that. But it's like apparently genius, And Lawrence is pissed because he's the one that actually wrote the verse.
Right.
And he never got due credit for it. And so that's been one of their biggest beefs is like Lawrence is like, you never give me credit for any of the songs that I've written. Which is again very like it mirrors a lot of real music acts.
Yeah. And to emphasize that, they show him on stage and he's like, there's one person who needs to get thanked for the genius of this song. And then they pan out to the audience and Lawrence is out there like, yeah. And he's like, and then Connor's like, me, only me. I sung it. I wrote it. It's all me.
And so we cut to Connor doing like this magic trick of switching clothing. But it's a magic trick for women because they don't have penises that get in the way of the wardrobe changes, right?
Of the quick pants change.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so he's like, it's cool. I'm going to tuck it in. Which, and he does it. He does it in front of a live audience. And it's going pretty well until when he tries to get into a tux, he has no clothes on. And he has no dick.
Right, because he's tucked.
Yeah. And so, like, it's a huge issue. Hunter's going crazy because he's like, this is the best prank ever.
Right. And they talk about how many pranks Hunter does on tour. He's always like pranking people. And they're like like the people in the background are all like, yeah, it's really funny. It's like so funny that you're like, okay, that's enough. You've gone too far. And then he keeps going. Yeah, it's great.
And so like right now Connor's trying to do damage control. And so he figures, okay, maybe I propose to my girl whose dream was to be a celebrity's wife.
Yeah. Because Sarah Silverman is
she's the PR.
She's PR. So she's like, yeah, you just got to do something big that draws attention away. And as soon as you do that, everybody will forget that you were up on stage naked.
Yeah. And so before he does this, Hunter, so he tries to like propose to his girl. It's like this huge thing. They have a pack of wolves because this girl had a dream about wolves, and they had Seal singing. But when Seal was singing, the wolves start acting up. And so, like, unfortunately, as he's proposing, the wolves break out, start attacking everybody, and Seal is like able to kind of like mitigate the whole situation. He's like, "How do you think I got these scars?" And unfortunately,
oh my God, those are from wolves? And he's like, "Yep."
Yeah. And then he gets attacked by a wolf. And so, like, it's a huge fiasco. And so, like, the next time Connor's like performing, or he's about to perform, Hunter goes 30 minutes over his set.
Yeah.
Which now he's like
with no signs of stopping.
Yeah,
because he's like singing up there, being like, "You guys better have bedpans, because I'm never getting off this stage."
I'm dying on this stage. And so, like, Connor's like he goes on, and Hunter's like, "What are you doing, dog?" And he's like, "This is my stage." And he's like, "All right, but I want to let you know, I did it." He goes crazy eyes, like bug eyed. He's like, "I pranked you, dog." Which is like the end of the relationship, because like Connor goes to Harry and he's like, "Hey man, you got to get rid of Hunter." And he's like, "I can't do that." He's like, "Why? What is the issue, man? You represent me, not him." And he's like, "Actually, I represent the both of you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Well, you got to choose." And like, unfortunately, he makes him kind of choose Hunter.
Right. And like, as Harry, as like actually as a manager,
Yeah.
if you got somebody who's flying up the charts versus somebody who's crashing, you're probably gonna pick the person who's like on the rise, not on the fall.
Exactly. Which is unfortunate, right? And so like there's he has another falling out too with Evan, because like now Connor's like, I don't know who to trust. And so he makes pancakes for like two of his yes men and Evan, but he puts a dog shit in it. And so he's like waiting for one of them to like, "Hey, tell me the truth." And Evan's like, "I'm sorry, dude. This is bad." And
right, because the other guys are, he's like, "This is the best pancakes ever made. Do you guys like them?"
And Connor's like, "Now I know who to trust because I put dog shit in there." So Evan's pissed.
Right.
As
he's
I
like,
would
he's
be
like,
too.
I've been your friend since we've been like 4, and you have to test me? And you have to test me by making me eat shit?
Like dog shit? And so Evan's like, "Yo, I'm out, dude. This is crazy." And like before this, like Evan tries to parent trap what's it called? Connor and Lawrence.
Yeah.
And there's like a scene where like they're in the limo and Connor's like, trying to tell Lawrence like, "What, you think I'm wrong? Look at this shit, man. Look how crazy it is out there for me. Look, those are some dope titties." But then all of a sudden there's like a dick on there. He's like, this is what I work for, dog." And then like they roll down the window and the dick plops in. And this girl's like, "Can you please sign his dick?"
This is my husband, penis. Could you sign it?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Like Jesus, it's on screen for so long. But so yeah, after this whole fiasco that's going down, like Connor is crashing and burning. Hunter is just steadily climbing up. Evan decides to go to his mom's house. His mom is John Cusack, who he's like, "My mom had to give up a lot when raising me, so she's going crazy now." Which is also like a very thing that happens, to like parents of stars. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm house sitting for my mom right now. She's on tour with Fall Out Boy." And so yeah, like what's it called? He's like he's bumming it in his mom's house. He's drinking all the time. He's kind of just like in this depression until what's it called? His PR comes, Sarah Silverman, and they start watching old videos of Style Boys.
Yeah.
And Evan's like, "I don't want to watch this." She's like, "Come on, you guys are so cute. Look at you. You guys are like 3 little nerds." And like Connor's super sad because his pet turtle Maximus died, who had like a bone disease.
This is a soft bones.
And like throughout the whole movie, he's talked about how his mom got him Maximus.
Yeah.
But in this
video,
it's
only his only friend. It's the only person who's stuck with him.
Yeah.
Through everything.
But when they're watching this video, it's actually Evan and Lawrence who got him.
Yeah.
Maximus. And so he has like this thing, and like Sarah Silverman's like, "Come on, let's go. We're gonna go out. We have to get you out of here. God, it smells like hot trash in here." And he's like, "All right, but if I'm gonna go out, I gotta put my disguise on." And it's like a disguise that makes him look like a Humpty from Digital Underground. It's like a prosthetic chin and nose. And he's like, it's actually pretty great being out. Like, you know, like nobody recognizes me. Which, again, mirrors real life because there's like an instance of Bow Wow doing this where he's like filming himself and he's like, there's a field trip behind me and they don't know I'm here. And even when they saw him, they're like, I don't know who you are. It, but all of a sudden, Evan gets up on stage and he's like doing some EDM stuff. You know, he's playing on the piano, he's singing. Connor's like, ooh, a little pitchy.
Yeah, his singing is not so great, but his DJing is excellent.
It's excellent. So Connor comes up, he's like, yo, man, dope set. Evan's like, why do you have that shit on? He's like, come on, man, you know why.
You look like Jason Segel.
And he's like, yeah, Sarah said that too. It's kind of crazy. And he starts like doing that head thing that Jason Segel does. It's hilarious. But then Connor's like giving him props. He's like, yo, man, that was really good. You know, like you were really shining up there. Evan's like, yeah, but the singing was a little pitchy. He's like, yeah. But Evan's like, you know who would sound good though? And he's like, nah, man, nah. You know, like you're doing your thing though, you know. But they make up enough to like for Connor to go to Colorado, and finally, in a very long-winded way, apologize to Lawrence. He's like,
it's like a 5-minute little monologue as the further the monologue goes, the more it starts to sink in how it's all his fault.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's like, I was there early. Nah, I was actually late. I was pretty late. He's like deconstructing all of the lies that he's been telling himself.
Yeah.
And then he finally just like apologizes, and Lawrence comes up to him, and Connor thinks he's gonna punch him in the face, but he hugs him, which is like, you know, it's a very heartwarming moment. And they're like, they go over like this hill. He's like, I want to show you guys something, and they're going over.
It's like you're in the middle of the desert. What are you farming out here? Like nothing's gonna grow.
It's just like at least a mile's worth of just marijuana.
Yeah, acres of weed.
Yeah, and he's like, hey guys, I'm taking a break. I'm gonna hang with my boys. And he's like, you guys still smoke weed, right? And so like, yeah, they start smoking weed, they start reminiscing, and it's like kind of like it's a great moment just because, you know, sometimes the more successful you get, the more kind of like bigger your head gets.
Right.
Which is what happened to Connor. And so it was like kind of nice to see him kind of reel himself back in, come back to the person he's always been but has forgotten.
Yeah.
And so like they start talking about old beats, you know, and they're flowing and everything. And all of a sudden he gets a call from Sarah Silverman. He's like, hey, the Poppies want you, which is like this universe's Emmys.
Taylor Swift just got arrested for murder. So there's an open spot for the final act. If you need to, need to get down here to,
and you could do whatever you want.
Yeah,
you could do whatever you want. And so he tells them, he's like, nah, you know, Sarah wanted me to do the Poppies, but I said nah, because I'm hanging out with my boys. And they're like, what? No, go do it, man. Like, you don't have to, like, we're not mad about you being a solo star. You know, they start talking about the Wu-Tang Clan, which is like very famous for all of, like, a good amount of the members doing single stuff, but still being a part of the group.
Right.
Or even like, you know, they're like, we could all be Tom Petty and still be, what was the band's name?
Together we'll be the Heartbreakers.
Yeah, the Heartbreakers. You know, and so like, yeah, it's
hilarious because they all have different ideas of the same thing, and they're trying to explain it. And each person who explains it, nobody else in the group gets it. Yeah. So I'm Tom Petty, and you're Tom Petty, and he's Tom Petty. Yeah, and together we're the Wu-Tang and the guys Clan. Like, we're all together. We're the Wu-Tang Clan. Like, no,
no. It is funny too because Evan's like, we could be better than the Wu-Tang Clan, and Carter's like, nah. And Evan's like, yeah, you know, when I said it, it didn't sound right. And so, like, yeah, they all come to the Poppies, which is, like, it's funny because it's just another, like, cliche thing, right? Like, after you've had controversies, you kind of want to grab onto like a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Right, because now he's showing up to the red carpet with the OG style, with those style boys, and everyone, it's everyone's like, oh, he's trying to come back to the PR thing, whatever, blah blah blah, And
Right.
so
And Sarah Silverman's like, yeah, this is like your last chance to really push your album.
yeah,
So sing your best single out there.
yeah, but like when they get like like they're, but like he's like, all right, one style boys and one thing from the new album. But like when they get to the backstage, one of the the stage managers, like, hey, listen, the show's gone on a little too long, so you're actually gonna only have 3 minutes. So what do you want to do, Style Boys or Conquest? And he's like, he starts looking at the boys, and he's like, and the stage manager's like, I don't know. He's like, he looks like he needs to fart. Oh wait, he's looking at the Style Boys, like he's kind of contemplating what to do. And Connor's like, I got it. And so when it pans over from Sledgehammer introducing Connor, he starts to sing his opening lines of Bin Laden. But he goes, but I'm a style boy for life. And he makes the right decision of doing the Style Boys song. It's a new song, and
right,
they're like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. They're telling the documentary crew. Before the good part, the more what's it called? One of the parts of this though is like before they get on stage, Hunter is presenting, but he starts to do an ad, and Mariah Carey is like, "What the fuck are you doing an ad right now?" And just totally shits the bed, right? And he's yelling at Harry, and Harry's like, "Yo, you're the one that wanted to cash his check. I told you not to do the ad," And Hunter calls him like a washed up has-been. And Harry's like, yeah, you better watch who you're talking to,
You better come correct.
And it looks like Hunter kind of reels it back in, but he's like, nah, shut up, old man. And he slaps the shit out of Hunter. And they make up. Harry makes up with Connor and the Style Boys, and when they're doing this song, they're like, "It's kind of crazy who we got to sing the hook, and it's fucking Michael Bolton." And yeah, it's a great thing. Justin Timberlake is in this too. They have like him sing a fish part.
Right, they're like, and we have a guitar playing fish. He comes out and plays guitar and sings a line. And then later on, you see him, and he's like the sushi chef, and he was like, "That was me. I was on stage."
Yeah, because earlier in the movie, he's like cooking something, but he's singing it, and Connor's like, "Hey, man, I'm the talent. Shut up." And the movie ends up on a high note. It's kind of like how you want every documentary about a old group to end, where they come back and reconcile and be friends again.
Yeah.
Is there like anything post?
There's 2 songs. They don't know video or anything. There's 2 songs going through the credits.
Okay.
that they sing. But
yeah. All right. Let's get to before we get to our thoughts about the movie. Let's get to our other section: high star and low star.
10 out of 10. Excellent satire. Great movie. I absolutely love the way it's a documentary with such famous musicians and rappers adding to the satire. The story is so true and attacks the songwriting skills of today's music. If you have a good beat, throw in a bunch of catchphrases with a cool voice, add another famous singer to back up with a couple lines, and you got yourself a new hip-hop rap song. Mm-hmm. I was completely entertained and recommend this movie for anyone to sit back and enjoy a great comedy. Love the fact that JT dominates the nerd entourage, or as the nerd entourage cook, Justin Timberlake, and has the ability to be humble and have some fun with the movie. The swearing can be a little intense, but the movie stays true to its creators. Hope everybody enjoys it as much as as I did with a laughter-filled evening.
I think I got a 1 out of 10. Couldn't make it past 15 minutes. I was like, that's how you already know this whole review is null and void. I had high hopes this was a sleeper comedy from reading previous reviews. Those previous reviews were dead wrong. Or they were all given by patrons we refer to as having an IQ under 80. Comedy is not present in this debacle. At best, you could say it was written by an angry 8-year-old while being picked on. Wow. And watching I'm on a boat on his second monitor. This would be best circumstances, yet I'm sure the true story behind it is far, far worse. The only thing we have to look back upon in our life is our memories. I sure hope I do not remember the time I spent watching this. So, like, I could see that if you're not a huge fan of just, like, watching, like, what's it called, like, music biographies or documentaries, this might not really resonate with you, but like as a person who like just watch music documentaries of old bands, it's kind of just it's a parody. Like your review said, it's satire of what happens to a lot of musical groups.
Right, and it runs totally like. So I used to always like the behind the curtain. It was
Behind the
VH1's
music.
Behind the music.
Yeah.
This ran. If they would have made this 20 minutes shorter, it could have been an episode of that.
Yeah, you know, and it's like before like the internet, before social media, that's kind of like how we got more of a in-depth look at a lot of the bands that we used to love.
Right, yeah, because you didn't have really another way.
Yeah, like Wikipedia wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
And so being able to see like behind the scenes of a lot of just like bands that you loved and like see where it all went wrong was super fun.
Yeah, and you got a little MTV Cribs because you got to see their like where they lived and like the part where like he's out on the farm and he walks over to the barn and opens it up and it's like a whole like music studio inside the barn. You're like, what?
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, a lot of, like, you know, like, real, like, dedicated, like, people who produce their own stuff do have in their home, you know?
Right. They got their studio basement or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, Lawrence still had funds funneling in from, like, the Style Boy stuff. Or, like, you know, he was making millions of dollars off of his marijuana. Either way.
But even though he looked like a hobo?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, like Lawrence had a lot of motion because after their performance, he makes out with the stage manager, and Connor's like, "Holy shit, yeah, they're gonna fuck." And like, it's great to see like you know like them kind of talk about how like, listen, you're like the charismatic one, you have the voice, you're the performer out of all three of us. So like, even if it's like if this was like a real real band. And they were able to reconcile, you could see that like yeah, Evan would be producing probably not just for Connor, but probably for other artists, and then Lawrence would be he'd be songwriting for a whole bunch of people, and they would just be all rich. They get so rich as like you know, and it's you know, there's a lot of people like in real life that like, hey, I want to be famous, I want to be in the crowd. I want to be in front of thousands and thousands of fans, you know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Were you also a big person to like watch like behind the music stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to love cuz it's like you hear like a song or you have an album that you really like and you just want more.
Yeah.
Like I like to or even like an actor like it's stupid like I love watching like the Hot Wings, the Hot Ones.
Oh yeah.
Now We Feast thing because it's not like an interview. It's like you get to actually kind of know a little bit more about your actors and your musicians that you follow.
Yeah, and that's also because Sean Evans and his team are really good at constructing like really well thought out questions.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Probably
it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not tell me about this next movie you're going to be in.
Yeah, it's not the same
Tell
dribble.
Me about,
you know?
Yeah.
And that's why that's why a lot of people love like Nardwuar interviews. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that
So
is.
he's like pretty much like he's way before Sean Evans. but he does like he does like a lot of interviews with like music artists, and he's always freaking them out because he's always like, hey Colby, tell me, do you recognize this? And he'll like, he'll talk to you like if you had never talked about your job in high school. He's
Right.
like Peter Piper Pizza. You'd be like, oh my god, what do you know about that?
Did they do their research? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like FBI shit, you know. Like he'll talk to rap artists, which I feel like that's where his goal has been, or he's been really well in, just because like when he would interview a lot of rock stars or like bands, they were kind of like rude, which was
Right.
strange. It was like he would like I think there's like a couple of videos of him like in his early years like interviewing like Weezer or like a band like that, and they're like just kind of mean to him. But then like he got so much love from like a lot of hip hop artists. You know, he's freaked out the best of them. He's like freaked out Kendrick Lamar. He's like, how do you know people from my neighborhood? You know, and so like yeah, like this kind of is like a great mirror to that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I wish I would have watched this when this came out because yeah, it was like it wasn't like so over the top like the way that like was it My Boy with Adam Sandler was.
Right. Yeah.
Which, like, to be fair, he played the straight man in that movie to Adam Sandler's, like, rock star dad. You know? Or, no, the whole thing was, like, Adam Sandler, when he was, like, a teenager in that movie, had slept with his teacher. That's what it was. That's, yeah. Oh, man. But, yeah, we're coming into our hour, so I want to go ahead and thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our months down below where we have months like Garbage Dump Month, where like movie studios will put movies that they're like, this is not going to do well, so we'll put it in January.
Let's take the tax break.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do this movie so we can keep the IP going. And you know, like just a lot of strange things, like things in space. In space, we have, you know, I always talk about that because those are like my favorite months. But we do reviews in 4 different sections where you stream it, DVD, a Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Kobe, where are you at for this one?
Just like you said, I wish I saw this in the theater. I feel like this is, and I feel like when I go to a movie theater, I laugh more because there's no distractions.
Yeah.
And so like it, and then it's infectious. You start laughing, the audience starts laughing. It's, but yeah, no, this was great. I would definitely Blu-ray this. And then when I was looking, it's got like almost an hour of extras and deleted scenes and cut footage and like a whole
like director's cut.
Yeah, and like the music videos and stuff are all on the Blu-ray. So like I feel like I almost have to get it for that.
That sounds like an easy Blu-ray pickup as well. People are going to be like, why do you have this in your collection? It's like, have you seen it? It's hilarious.
Right.
And like, I love parody songs. Like this is actually not a I wouldn't constitute this as a parody song because they're all original music.
Right.
So, just comedy songs. They're all great comedy songs. Some of them it's like a miss for me. Like the last song that they did was like, these are the incredible things in my head. I mean, you get away with it because Michael Bolton is singing the hook.
Right. So you got Michael Bolton. You got Tim Meadows on sax. You got Justin Bieber as a fish.
Justin Timberlake.
Oh, Justin Timberlake as a fish. They do a Justin Bieber in the audience.
Yeah.
But I guess apparently the big audience shots are all from a One Direction concert.
Oh, really?
They got the rights to use the
footage,
the B-roll from a One Direction concert.
I mean, yeah, you had freaking Tyler. Oh gosh, what's his name from Aerosmith? Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler, yep.
Yeah, you had Steven Tyler on there. Yeah. That's where I was like, they had to get that footage from somewhere else because this can't be. This concert is like a concert filled with extras. Oh man, but yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our links down below.
Yeah, we got our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, X, TikTok, YouTube. We're on
Yep.
it all.
And you know, it's the new year, so I will start posting on TikTok. That's where I'll be on, or try to. Oh man! Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry,
This is Colby.
and this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out Des theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
And we get a whole month of rockumentaries. So, stay tuned. And if you hate rockumentaries, you should just listen just because we're awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.